Well, good afternoon and welcome to this beautiful day here on Central Campus at Iowa State University to celebrate the return of the Jack Trice sculpture. What a wonderful, beautiful day. We're so pleased to have the sculpture located just north of Beardshire Hall. It's an area where thousands of students, faculty, staff, and visitors pass by every day. And it's a very special way to lift up Jack Trice and recognize both his academic and his athletic legacy as the first African American student athlete at Iowa State. We are also excited to further enhance Jack's legacy at Jack Trice Stadium. We are finalizing members for a new Art on Campus committee. The committee will be charged with commissioning a new significant art installation honoring Jack Trice at the stadium. We look forward to sharing more progress on that effort here after the first of the year. The decision to return the Jack Trice sculpture to Central Campus was one of necessity, but also one of opportunity. The sculpture needed to be moved due to the construction of the new Sports Performance Center and Stadium Plaza, but it was also a great opportunity to move the sculpture to a location that would give heightened visibility to Jack's story. The location in the heart of Central Campus is a wonderful way to engage a broader audience of students, faculty, and staff and visitors who may not attend football games or other events at the stadium. Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, Martino Harmon. Martino, raise your hand and wave. Yeah, thank you. Martino Harmon led a committee that included representatives from all across campus and included past president of student government, Julian Neely. The great work of the committee determined the location north of Beardshire Hall and that this location would ensure the sculpture was in a prominent place where many people would have the opportunity to read about the sculpture and to enjoy this beautiful piece of art. Indeed, the sculpture was just installed last week, and we've seen a number of people pause to read about the sculpture, to read the inscription, to view the sculpture, and to take photos. Many people helped determine the new location and ensure the move went smoothly. In addition to Dr. Harmon, I want to recognize Director of Athletics, Jamie Pollard, whose department was deeply involved and provided the financial resources to relocate the sculpture. Jamie, where are you? Usually we can see you. Wait, there you are. Thank you, Jamie. Director of University Museums, Lynette Pullman, who provided critical guidance and whose team helped ensure the sculpture was properly preserved. Facilities planning and management for their diligent work to successfully install the sculpture. And there were many individuals from facilities planning and management that made a difference, but I'd like to call out Rhonda Martin particularly. President and CEO of the Alumni Association, Jeff Johnson, who provided leadership and thoughtful input from alumni perspective for this new location. And Jeff can't be with us because of a family event today. Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion, Reg Stewart, who also engaged key stakeholders and shared their feedback.
Hello everyone, my name is Austin Graber and I currently serve as the Iowa State University Student Body President. I'm honored to be able to give remarks today on what Jack Trice's legacy means to today's students and appreciating the role that my predecessors have had in carrying the legacy forward. Located in the Student Government Office is a poster of Jack Trice that has been passed down from president to president that reads, "Everyone is expecting me to do big things. My whole body and soul are to be thrown recklessly about the field tomorrow. Every time the ball is snapped, I will try to do more than my part. Be on your toes every minute if you expect to make good." This is from the letter Jack Trice wrote to himself before the game against Minnesota, in which he lost his life, and is the same message that is in the book on the sculpture here as well. Although it was clearly about football, this inspiring message rings true for us as students today. No matter the expectations we may face in our daily lives, if we put our body and soul into whatever it may be and stay on our toes every minute, we can expect to make good and succeed as Trice tells us. Jack Trice never says in the letter that it will be easy, but provides the steps to how he did it and how we can as well. What a lot of people don't realize is that in addition to a great athlete, Jack Trice was a fantastic student and husband as well. When he arrived on campus to study animal husbandry, which is currently known as veterinary medicine, he was one of only 15 African Americans out of 4,500 total student population. Trice planned on using his degree to assist black farmers in the South following graduation. In spite of the isolation and pressure of being an African American student at a predominantly white institution, having to balance both football and track, working a custodial job to support his education, and still having time for his wife Cora Mae Starland, Trice was still able to find academic success, maintaining a 90% average, which would be around an A to A- today. Jack Trice is someone that we as students look up to as a perfect example of persevering and overcoming obstacles despite any odds that may be against us, and I am grateful to have a hero like this here at Iowa State University. I'm also proud to be a part of continuing the long trend of the students' part in continuing Jack Trice's legacy. It was the students and student government in 1974 that voted unanimously to recommend the school name the new football stadium after Jack Trice, ultimately ending in a compromise of Jack Trice Field at Cyclone Stadium. It was the students that then donated the same statue we see today to be placed between Beardshear and Carver in 1988. It was the students and student government President Adam Gold who, in a second effort to change the stadium name, moved this same statue to the north side of the stadium in 1997. This, along with other pressure, led to Jack Trice Stadium becoming the first and still only Division I football stadium named after an African American. This is truly special to have at Iowa State, given the percentage of Iowans who are African American is still under 4% today. Then when we found out the statue would be moving back to campus, it was the students and student government president Julian Neely who were involved in discussions to create a committee of students and administration that would focus on commemorating Jack Trice back at the stadium following the departure of the statue. The tribute will allow Trice's story to not just stay on campus, but to continue into the Ames community and into the lives of visiting fans as well. I would like to recognize one student in particular that has been serving on that committee. Marie Beecham, where are you at? She's been a great student on this committee, so please give her a round of applause as well. I'm excited to see what the committee comes up with, and will continue to work with them in order to get the tribute Jack Trice deserves. In addition, we will soon begin discussions on the possibility of adding a section on Jack Trice to the prospective students tour route as well. This would allow for a conversation on the importance of diversity and inclusion to be had during the very first experience students have on campus. I believe that as long as the students are here at Iowa State, Jack Trice's legacy will continue to spread, and the legacy will live on as it has thus far. I would like to thank again the President's Office and President Winterstein for putting on today's event. I would also like to thank Dr. Martino Harmon, Dr. Jeff Johnson, and Dr. Tara Jordan for their work on the Commemoration Committee and for providing information on Jack Trice, the student, for me to share with you all today. Next, we will be hearing about Jack Trice from the student-athlete perspective, from two student athletes, what Jack Trice's legacy means to today's athletes. Please help me in giving a warm welcome to the President of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee and a great childhood friend of mine, Chase Allen, to the stage.
My name is Chase Allen. As Austin said, I'm the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and I'm also a junior on the football team here at Iowa State. I'm here to speak about the student athlete perspective and as a football player of what it truly means to play under the legacy of Jack Trice. I was fortunate enough to know this story from a very young age. I was about 5 years old running around the Jacobson facility while my dad was a football coach here at Iowa State. I remember seeing this guy outside of the facility and seeing a lot of other posters inside. And I went up to my dad and I said, "Who was this guy?" He then took me through the story of what happened to Jack and how I should be thankful every time I step on the field because people before me literally gave their life to do the same thing. My 5-year-old reaction was, I don't think I want to play football. I mean, it's pretty scary, pretty serious stuff, but I was able to talk myself out of that one based off being here today. So that is a story I learned when I was just a boy. But a story that I learned just this morning while speaking with one of our football mentors, Dan Becker, who played under Coach Bruce back in the day, was about the quote that Austin read in his speech that is on that poster. What the remarkable thing about that message was He wrote it while sitting in his room alone while the rest of his team was downstairs eating their pregame meal. You see, Jack was not allowed to eat in the restaurant at the University of Minnesota where they were about to play the next day. Yeah, on October 5th, 1953, they refused to serve him. To handle this discrimination and injustice, to be able to stay focused on the team and what he had to do to win every down the next day is just remarkable. The next day, the only thing on his mind, and I quote, was to have my whole body and soul thrown recklessly around the field tomorrow for the team. He could have easily shut it down under the circumstances that no one really seemed to want him playing, but that just wasn't Jack. This is the legacy Jack Trice. I hope we can carry through our program today. We have been blessed as a program to have a staff that values tradition and to have the presence of Jack Trice around the facility and in our players today. We take all the incoming guys on a yearly basis through the story of Jack. We teach them during fall camp, and we give them this perspective on how things have truly changed throughout the years. Jack officially died of his injury sustaining the game on October 8th, 1923. It then took 50 years until 1973 for that petition that 3,000 students signed to have his name be up for the stadium. And as Austin finally hit on in 1997, the stadium was finally named Jack Trice Stadium. As someone who gets to run through the tunnel and onto this field, the fact that it is named after someone so honorable and not just the highest bidder, as are most stadiums, makes me that much more proud to be a Cyclone. We are now coming up on the 100th anniversary of Jack's final game, 2023. It'll be here before we know it. Me and Marcel won't be playing. DJ, you will. And the other guys that are going to be out there are in our locker room now today. And my hope is for his legacy to continue to grow and be revitalized by this anniversary and with events like this, and that we never forget his message and story, and it continues to live through us on this campus and in the Ames community. Thank you all for having me out here today.
To you guys. Just hearing that letter being read, my defensive coordinator, he reads the letter to us all the time, and he puts it on the front of our books. And every time I hear it read, it just brings chills to my spine. And so it really means everything to me to play for Iowa State, and that's just because of everything that he went through for us to be here. If I was in his shoes and in this time period, I don't think I would be brave enough, to take the torch like he did. He could have easily took the easy route and said, these people are not going to accept me. They're not going to like me, and I'm just better off just staying home and just doing what I'm doing at home. But he took the harder route, and he came here, and he said he knew it was going to be hard, but, he had to do it just because he saw the bigger picture for himself, not only for himself, but, for people, like me and Chase to be able to speak up here. And it's just amazing what he has done for this university. It's funny, when I first got here at Iowa State, I'm a family guy, so for the first week, I really couldn't sleep because I missed my family so much. But, once the week passed, my teammates, they embraced me, they brought me in, and they treated me like a brother. And it really meant a lot to me, and it helped me grow my transition to, to eventually love Iowa State. I tell these guys every time, and they know it. Whenever I touch the field, it's for them, and I hope they can, I hope they feel it when I'm out there, but I can really truly say I love them as my brothers. And just, I don't know, it really makes me emotional just being up here and being able to speak right now. It's because I never would have thought I'd be up here speaking in front of you guys, but it's because of him, that I'm up here, and how he spoke about me, saying I'm the most influential. I'm just truly thankful to be in this position. I'm truly thankful to be in this position and be in front of my teammates right now and be in front of all you guys. Really just I'm really speaking from the heart when I say this. If it wasn't for this man, I don't know where I'd be. And I've never even met him. The impact that he's made on me, this university, is just, it's beyond the thought, you know? So I just wanted to keep it really short and simple and just really just say how, you know, playing for Iowa State, it means everything to me, and it's because of him and what he has done. So thank you, and go Cyclones.